Alright, so this little rainbow trad I put together in the middle of the night last night because I was on a soldering binge. It's a clone of a pedal I had a while back and I didn't like it, and for some reason I saw the circuit and I was like, I need to make this again. It's the Fender Blender. I had a reissue of it. I don't know if I think at that point I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now I kind of have a little bit better idea of what the knobs do on some of these things. I modded it. Normally when you turn on just the pedal without the tone knob on, the tone knob on always sounded good to me, but when you turn the tone knob off, the pedal just sounded obnoxious and mid-rangey. So I adjusted that and made it just a much more beastly type sound, and now I made it to where when you turn the tone knob on, you can use it as more of a treat, like sweeping the bass with huge highs or cutting the highs for a really darker tone. So I'll just run you through it a little bit. Controls on it, same as the stock type pedal. You got volume, gain, and then you got the tone knob. This is the one that's on off with this. I flip-flopped it. I like the ons over here and the offs over here and the features over there. And then this is your blend. And the blend is cool. As time's gone on, I've learned a lot more about what these toys do. Blend kind of gets you your dry signal and your wet signal. Before I just had the pedal by itself. I never tried blending two of these things together. Really, I think what the intent of that's to do is to stack two distortions together, and then you kind of you either get it to the middle or make it where this kind of is the tasty octave type sound, and then you get your other fuzz, or like this is a Tube Screamer clone. I'll run it together. I'll just show you some of what like you kind of do. So if you have pedals out there with blend knobs, like there's actually really fun things you can do with them. Other than just having the dry signal. I think really stacking the pedals is a really fun feature I think a lot of people are neglecting out there, and they could be finding some cool magic tones. But here it is, without further ado and talkaholicing. Blend wets this way and dry. So, because I'm not stacking anything into it, I'll kick it all the way to the pedal itself side. So gain, it's all fuzz because it's an octave pedal, so you gotta have fuzz to hear the cool feature. So, that's about as light as it gets. It's kind of gated. I switched the transistors. It's got modern 2-inch 5088s, like what you find in like a big muff, or you know, a lot of the modern pedals use those. Really good, meaty, high gain. Just show you cranking it up. I think it has more lows than when I owned the real pedal or the reissue of the thing. So yeah, it's pretty rad. Just to show you now, knob. Just show you. You can make it woofy as hell and dark. Let some of it back in. Straight up, almost sounds like bypassed it because I adjusted the EQ on this thing. That was my intent, is try and get unity. It's almost like the bypass. So now just show you cranking the highs. You know, the whole octave thing, when you get the high registers, like I think this one just really cuts away from the pack on octave pedals, like the Fox Tone Machine, or you know, piercing mooses, and which is kind of the same thing, or other, you know, 386 based ones. This one's just kind of its own metallic-y, you know, bullet with butterfly wings. I kind of intended the pedal to be used, you know, where you have like your main tone, and then you can just kick it on. It's like stand up. where you can like leave it as a full-on distortion that you might leave on instead of just as a special feature like they did on a lot of songs. I hear people use the octave pedal. They kind of just use it for one little treat. This one almost, because I messed with the EQ a lot on it, I almost kind of got it super fuzzy where it's just really thick, really crispy. It's kind of really cool. So you can use this just for the songs. Just to show you now, stacking some crap into it. I built. This is like one of the very first pedals I built. So it's a tube screamer without the buffers. Kind of get the, just show you like the treat now. Like the super lows and the octave. So it's really cool. Just to get that super low in the octave and just have some, totally different combined tones. I purposefully made the EQ that way because I figured most people have a dirt pedal that's kind of their mid-range booster, whether they realize it or not. Your rats and your tube screamers and your muffs, a lot of them are boosting the mids. So, sorry, I was a little busy for my 4-year-old friend. But a lot of people have a pedal that's really boosting the mids. So I tried to make this where when you stack a pedal into it, the mids are taken over by another pedal, just to show you. Show you how scooped it is when you turn off the tube screamer. So it just really fills in that void. Same thing now, I'll kick on the high EQ and show you can tone shape it all together. It almost becomes more metal-y sounding. Fun pedal. Stayed up pretty late fiddling around with this thing. Probably kept the neighbors up, but it was worth it. So really cool pedal. I think this one's for sale in a reverb store already. So if you don't have an octave type pedal, I'm telling you, I've played a lot of them, and I'm going to be building all sorts of different octaves this week because I'm on some sort of bender of octave pedals, pun intended. So check it out. Add something like this to your tone. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. It's just neat to have something you can solo with that's just piercing and crazy sounding. You don't want just dirt and clean. You got to have some oddball stuff in there, even if you play classic rock. So, rock on.